Today we are going to be taking a look at the remastered version of GTA San Andreas. Hopefully. Do you guys remember when I made this video? Yeah, I was very wrong. Rockstar has somehow reached new depths of being an incompetent sack of shit. Honestly, it's actually getting impressive at this point how bad such a big company can get. As many have said before, I'd expect this type of behavior from maybe an indie game company, maybe a group of like amateur developers, working on some sort of Kickstarter project. But this is Rockstar Games we're talking about. This is perhaps the wealthiest gaming company in human history that we're talking about here. Now, today we're going to be focusing on San Andreas specifically. I'm not too interested in Vice City or GTA 3 that much. I may look at them for like a minute or two just to test them out for fun, but this video is mostly going to be about San Andreas itself. Now, at the time of me recording this video, I haven't even been able to access or download any of these fucking games yet. Now, why is that, you may be wondering? So I pre-ordered the GTA Definitive Edition Trilogy off of the Rockstar website several weeks ago. Here's my receipt and everything. November 11th was the day this was supposed to come out. It is now November 13th. The 11th of November was the date that the electronic versions of these games were supposed to hit stores. And for console players, they did. When the games released, however, Rockstar decided to immediately shut down the Rockstar launcher and their support hub for maintenance. Imagine releasing a game and then subsequently shutting down the only method for PC players to download this game. Because no, Rockstar did not put this on Steam for some dumb fucking reason. Now, over 24 hours later, Rockstar decided to, put the Rockstar launcher back up. People can actually access the fucking application now. Now, immediately upon the launcher being back up and running, two problems arose. The first being, for some reason, Rockstar decided to turn off my automatic sign-in after literally years of it being on. I knew my password, but because of this whole automatic sign-in thing being turned off, I had to use my two-factor authentication, which I had set up literally over a decade ago. I specifically had auto sign-in on for this very reason, so that I never really had to use this two-factor authentication again. Whenever I log in on my browser to the Rockstar, to any Rockstar Social Club service, I'm able to use my Xbox login, which I do for literally everything Rockstar related. But for some reason in the Rockstar launcher, the only method for PC players to access their games other than Steam, for some reason there's no Xbox sign-in option here whatsoever. So I don't have the device that I used to, activate this two-factor authentication. I don't know where the fuck it is because it's been literally over a decade. I set up this account when I was in fucking 6th grade. So I don't know what the fuck happened. So I literally had to contact Rockstar. Why did Rockstar decide to randomly sign everybody out and turn off the automatic sign-in after always remembering my login info since around like 2014? Who the fuck knows? But apparently this doesn't matter because according to Rockstar themselves on Twitter, they completely removed the games from the Rockstar launcher altogether, at least temporarily, because for some reason, somehow, they put files into the game unintentionally that were not supposed to be there. Imagine releasing a video game and not thoroughly checking the files before releasing it prior to launch. From what I heard, the games are actually terrible and ridden with bugs, so I'm not too bummed out. So you know what? I'll see you guys in a few eternities from now when I can actually get access to this godforsaken fucking game. So I got the game. I was able to successfully download the game. Rockstar actually decided to put it back up. And I told you guys we would be taking a look at San Andreas, and I wasn't lying. We're gonna be taking a nice, good look at San Andreas today. I just want to make a note here that playing this game was one of the least favorable experiences playing a video game in my entire life, if not the worst. And I've I downloaded Talking Tom once, so that's kind of saying something. If you can even consider that a game. I want to get this out of the way though. I don't have like just in case there's confusion here. I don't have some sort of like low end fucking $40 PC. You know, I'm not running off of fucking grandma's Windows XP laptop. Okay, I have a pretty decent PC with 32 gigs of RAM, a kick-ass graphics card. I can run the new Battlefield game. I can run GTA 5 at a consistent 60 frames per second with, you know, decent graphic settings without any issues. So can somebody please tell me why it is that whenever I open the new San Andreas Definitive Edition Remaster, it can literally, I'm not even joking here, it cannot surpass 1 frame per second on medium graphic settings. Now, most people with like a cerebral cortex, most people with like a brain cell would tell me, okay, try, you know, lowering the graphic settings, which is a great idea. I mean, sure, I don't really like to make videos with low graphic settings. I have only had to do that like once. I went to go try lowering the graphic settings, and for some reason, whenever you go to change a setting in this San Andreas remaster, whenever you want to lower or heighten the resolution, whenever you want, if you want to change the quality of the shadows, if you want to do anything in the graphic settings, the moment you go back into the game after applying the setting, the game crashes. So I could not really do anything about the performance of the game. The very first time I opened the game, I was able to change things. I don't know why it just randomly started crashing after like the second or third time I opened the game. Before the highest amount of FPS that the game would be able to achieve was around like in between 5 and 10 on the literal worst graphic settings. That's like no shadows, no fucking clouds. You know, we're operating on a fucking like a windowed 720p like window in the middle of my 1440p monitor. Like lowest possible graphic settings you could possibly achieve in the game, not surpassing like 10 FPS. And again, this cannot possibly be a PC issue because literally, like, there are modern day games that run exquisitely on my PC. Like, if I'm able to go and commit mass genocide in GTA 5 at 120 frames per second, 60 frames per second, whatever I lock it to, I should be able to play San Andreas Definitive Edition at least 30 frames per second. At least 30 frames per second. You won't even give me 2 with decent graphic settings. You are looking at the native gameplay of me playing San Andreas right now. This is not slowed down. This is not edited in any fashion. This is the exact footage that OBS was recording. OBS was not overloading. My CPU was doing perfectly fine. This is literally just the native gameplay. This is not OBS glitching. This is not OBS stuttering in its recording. This is just the game being a fucking halfwit. So I quite literally did not get like around 10 feet from my spawn point without just fucking giving up. I opened the game, I want to say around 20-30 times, because for some reason, now this is another thing, this is the second issue I had with the game, is whenever you start a recording while in the game, both the game and OBS crash. Now, before today, OBS has never crashed on me before a day in my entire life. Of my entire history doing YouTube, OBS has not crashed on me once. There's been a few times where it stopped responding and it came back, but it has never crashed. I've never even had a video game crash on me, and that's saying something because I have GTA 5. That's been known to crash on people many times, especially with mods. But for some reason, San Andreas causes OBS to crash, and it also kills itself in the process. Now, for some reason, this part just boggles my mind. It stays active in like the task manager, and my mouse does nothing on the screen. So it still acts as if I'm in a full screen application, but I'm not. So my mouse does nothing. I can only do things on my second monitor here for some dumb fucking reason. If you start the recording before going into the game, I would say like half the time it didn't crash on me. But the amount of times this game crashed just for me being just me trying to enter the game and like walk around for like 5 seconds, the amount of times this game crashed is fucking ridiculous. But the times where it didn't crash, the game is unplayably slow. I don't think this is a popular issue. I don't think this is happening to very many people, because I've seen a lot of people playing this game online. I don't know what my issue is. I went into multiple fucking settings. I changed the Windows performance optimization to high power or whatever the fuck, the one that optimizes like performance rather than looks and like power saving, that whatever the fuck that's called. I did so many things to try to optimize. I downloaded fucking Razer Cortex, which does fucking nothing. Nothing would allow the game to go past like 10 FPS. And that's fucking pathetic. I know there are a lot of people who are having other issues, like some people saying, oh, it's stuck at 40 FPS. Yeah, try 2, bitch. Try looking at a goddamn slideshow of images. And it's supposed to be a video game. This game has honestly surprised me, and I don't know why. It has surprised me that a game company with this amount of money could fail so miserably at a game launch, and also the game itself. Like, the launch was a failure, the game itself is a failure, literally everything about this is a failure. And honestly, I don't think I'm missing out on very much, because from people who are like, actually able to, like, I don't know, play the game at like, more than like 15 FPS. For the people who are actually like, able to go through the story of this game and play it for real, it doesn't look like I'm missing out on very much. I mean, there's glitch after glitch after glitch after glitch after fucking glitch. I've seen fingernails, I've seen levitating bikes, I've seen fucking, character models that look like they have rickets and fucking, extra bones. I've seen a lot of shit. So honestly, I'm not too bent that I'm not going to be able to play this game, but I do want my fucking $60 back, you sack of shit. I asked for a refund. I honestly, I don't think they're going to give it to me because it's Rockstar Games. Maybe if it was through Steam, but it's not, because for some reason they decided not to put it on Steam. Like, you really, if you look at this timeline, okay, Rockstar announces the definitive edition. They enable the pre-order. They launch the game. Launch is a generous word, because, launching a game to Rockstar, what that really means is, we're going to launch it for like 5 fucking minutes and then launch it like 5 days, like 5 days in the future. Because that's really what happened. They launched this game for like, a couple minutes, like maybe like a little less than an hour, I believe. Then they just completely shut down the Rockstar launcher. Okay. So they just released this game, right? They released this big, it's 3 fucking games. They released a collection of games. Immediately after announcing it, they shut down the only method for PC players to be able to access the game. Then, I mean, obviously console players are living lavish, but PC players can access this game for long as fuck, okay? And then they decide, we're going to put the Rockstar Games launcher back up, but we're not going to let you play the definitive edition. We're just going to remove it because we're fucking retards. We put like literal public source code into the game so that anybody can go fucking pirate it. So they, put files unintentionally in the game, for like, why you wouldn't have like a team go and thoroughly check. See, it's funny because Rockstar is either incompetent because they didn't thoroughly check the files, or Rockstar is incompetent because they tried to check the files and they fucking failed because they overlooked like a massive chunk of things that weren't supposed to be in the game. So they remove the game entirely from the Rockstar Games launcher. They remove the entire collection, from the Rockstar Games launcher. And then, they put it back, and it's a sack of worthless shit. I've never been more disappointed with a Rockstar release in my life. And I'm legitimately saying that sincerely. Out of all the times they re-released GTA 5, at least I was able to fucking open it and play it. God damn. I'm gonna get a brain aneurysm. I'm gonna have a fucking apoplexy if I keep talking about this. So I'm gonna call it a day, and I'll see you guys whenever, man.